Guys, in this quick video, I want to talk about why I believe NVIDIA is poised to make a run. It's sitting at a potential place right now where it could make a serious run over the next several months. And I want to talk about it on this video. I also want to talk about some industries where NVIDIA is leading that you need to know that they're the major player in those industries. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at where we ended the day yesterday in terms of NVIDIA. We ended at 138.07 per share. By the way, guys, if you look at month over month, I'll just go there real quick. You notice that NVIDIA has seen an 18.23% increase in the past month. And you can see there on the chart that NVIDIA is starting to make an upward trajectory in terms of its growth as a stock. So if you rewind that back to year to date, since January 1, we know January 1, we've really gone up. But you look at this volatility right here, anywhere from May to about where we are right now in October, you see quite a bit of volatility there. That's something you got to keep in mind. But if you own NVIDIA as a single stock, you have to be able to weather and stomach some of that volatility as it goes up, right? But we're on an upward trajectory. Just in the last 5 days or in the last month, we see that we're actually moving upwards. So pay attention to that, guys, as we get closer and closer to another earnings report from NVIDIA. Next, I want to take a real quick look at an article I saw in USA Today. It talks about how NVIDIA is notching closer to a record close and could unseat ultimately pretty soon Apple as the most valuable company on the planet. Now, this is October 14th. This is just yesterday. Shares of NVIDIA closed at their highest ever on yesterday, putting the heavyweight AI chip maker on the brink of dethroning Apple as the world's most valuable company, with investors betting on strong demand for its current and next generation AI processors. We know that they've got this Blackwell coming out, and this Blackwell is supposed to be a game changer. So we know that's upcoming. So they got another big release coming by the end of the year. It said the Santa Clara, California company's stock climbed 2.4% to end the day yesterday at $138 per share, 138.07 per share. It says in June, NVIDIA briefly became the world's most valuable company. We remember that, right? It quickly went back down, though. It says it was quickly overtaken by Microsoft, and the tech trio's market capitalizations have been neck and neck for several months. Microsoft, Apple, and NVIDIA. So right now, NVIDIA is at number 2, perhaps possibly soon to be number 1. NVIDIA has been Wall Street's biggest winner from the race between Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and other major tech companies. It says, we believe the major companies in AI face an investment environment characterized by a prisoner's dilemma. Each is individually incentivized to continue spending as the cost of not doing so are potentially devastating. So there's been several articles recently that pointed to the fact that all of these big Mag 7s we're talking about, the Amazons, the Googles, the Metas, all these companies are looking to spend and spend and spend lots of money on AI. And that's one of the reasons why NVIDIA is such a valuable company in the right now and in the near future. Now, it goes on to say that TD Cowen reiterated its 165 price target for NVIDIA, which it called its top pick. And it said demand for the company's current generation of AI chips remains strong. NVIDIA in August confirmed reports that a ramp up in production of its upcoming Blackwell chips was delayed until the fourth quarter, but it downplayed the impact of that, right? So there was a delay. Some people think that might have kept the stock price stagnant for a while, not to mention some of the sell-off that people are talking about. But just keep in mind that it's on its way up. And I want to show you in this video, later on this video, I want to show you some really important reasons why if you don't have NVIDIA, you may consider it either be an ETF or a single stock to add to your portfolio. It says NVIDIA, Apple, and Microsoft account for about a fifth of the S&P 500's weight, giving them a hefty influence in the index's day-to-day gains and losses. When you got 3 companies gathering about or controlling about 30% of the S&P 500, that's pretty heavy. Taiwan Semiconductor, the contractor manufacturer that produces NVIDIA's processors, is expected to report a 40% leap in its quarterly profit later on this week, thanks to, again, soaring demand that we see out there. Analysts expect spending to build out AI data centers will help NVIDIA's annual revenue more than double to nearly $126 billion, according to LSEG data. While NVIDIA's rally has lifted the S&P to record highs, which it has, investors worry optimism about AI could evaporate if there's any sign of slowdown. Now, With that said, guys, there's a lot of buzz that's beginning to happen again as we see Nvidia moving out of that 130 something range. It finally broke the $130 per share range. Looks like it's poised to break the $140 per share range very shortly. So what I'm seeing with Nvidia is that, we have to understand that Nvidia's growth here in 2024 has been really driven by some key factors, right? Obviously, most importantly is its dominant position in AI and high performance computing, right? First with its GPUs, and now, of course, it has its next generation of Blackwell coming on shortly. And these things have been critical to powering some of this generative AI stuff we see, applications, supercomputers, and enabling Nvidia to be a leader in the AI hardware space. And we also have some new adoption of AI that's really just ramping up at this point, right? So the demand for what Nvidia offers, and including how it builds out data centers, is huge. And it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So Nvidia's technology, we know that's rising. Again, Gen AI, supercomputing, data centers, they're all booming markets with a serious upward trajectory. And who is positioned right smack dab in the middle of all that? It's Nvidia. Not to mention, Nvidia has already seen some incredible growth in terms of its overall revenue. I think we were at just over $30 billion is what they reached at their last earnings report. But they're looking to even increase that top line revenue to $32 billion with the next earnings report that's coming up here shortly. So again, the AI market that Nvidia dominates is they're looking at maybe, and most experts are saying that it's going to grow at about a 40 to 45% compound annual rate over the next 10 years. This further cements and supports that Nvidia's potential for incredible growth is still way out there. The trajectory is still really, really high. So there's a lot of upside to Nvidia. So they're expecting big time growth over the next year, 3-year, 5-year, and 10-year due to its Nvidia's strategic AI positioning and cloud computing positioning, right? So if you own Nvidia, despite this short-term volatility that you see, the company's long-term outlook remains really, really optimistic based on its qualitative and quantitative research measures, right? Some of the industries that Nvidia is a leader in, some of these $1 trillion or potential billions and hundreds of billions and $1 trillion industries that Nvidia leads in are really key that you must understand, right? Due to its obviously GPU dominance and again, data centers and all that good stuff. So think about AI itself as a general overall industry, AI and machine learning. AI and machine learning is expected to be a $2 trillion to $3 trillion industry by the year 2030, and even more by the year 2035. So Nvidia's GPUs, they're the driving factor behind that, right? And it obviously those GPUs require incredible, massive computational power. And right now, the leader in that industry in providing that is Nvidia. And also data centers and cloud computing, as I mentioned. The cloud computing market is expected somewhere around 2.5 to 3 trillion in the next 5 or 6 years. That's huge. That's another industry that Nvidia is the leader in. Also, don't forget about gaming. Guys, gaming is where Nvidia cut its teeth over the last 20 or 30 years, right? They cut their teeth in gaming, and they're still the major player in gaming. Right now, gaming is close to a $300 billion industry per year. That's twice the size if you include movies and music, and then you double music and movies together. Gaming is still bigger than both. So gaming at $300 billion is expected by 2030 by most experts to be around a $500 billion industry. Who's the leader in the gaming industry? It's Nvidia, right? Nvidia dominates the high-end GPU market with its different line of with its different line of GPUs for the gaming industry. So that's huge. That's another huge industry that Nvidia leads in. Now here's another one. AVs, autonomous vehicles. The autonomous vehicle market is projected to be over $2 trillion, close to $3 trillion, depending on what model or whoever you're listening to. It's supposed to be way up there by the time we get to 2030. Who's the leader in that industry? Nvidia providing its different platforms for that type of technology for these autonomous vehicles. So Nvidia is leading that industry as well. Not to mention healthcare, life sciences. That healthcare AI market alone is expected to be well over 200 to 300 billion dollars by 2030. And so when we talk about healthcare, life sciences, pharmaceutical development, medical research, etc., NVIDIA's GPUs are used in many of those healthcare applications. You think about medical imaging. Now, don't forget, going back to gaming, NVIDIA was the one who developed some of the more lifelike gaming that you see happening when you play a game and you see things very lifelike. That's based on the work that NVIDIA has been doing over the last 20, 30 years. Now, if you translate that and bring it to the healthcare world, the healthcare industry, you're talking about medical imaging. You're talking about just processing vast amounts of data and also the imaging of that data or imaging in general. All that NVIDIA is a leader in. They've got platforms and applications that are set up to lead that industry as well. You talk about virtual augmented reality, metaverse. We can go into all those things. Those are also areas where NVIDIA has positioned itself to be there. Not to mention robotics. Robotics industry is forecasted to reach, I think, over $500 billion in the next 5 or 6 years. So NVIDIA, their platforms are positioned to lead in robotics as well. So we're talking about industries that are either approaching or have the potential to become trillion-dollar markets, with NVIDIA right there at the center of them, playing a critical role in providing the hardware, the software, and fulfilling what's necessary in data centers to handle all of this innovation and development. So this is why I say, guys, NVIDIA is on a bull run. It hit record highs. It's probably going to continue to hit record highs. And we have an upcoming earnings report that's going to be coming up shortly. Please pay attention. Please, if you're invested in NVIDIA, fantastic. If you're not invested, you might consider putting it on your watch list. Maybe you have it in an ETF. Be thinking about it. I just wanted to give you this quick video, guys, and let you know, hey, this is what you got to be thinking if you're an investor in the market, right? You need to be looking at these trends, especially if you're in the tech sector, and that's a sector where you actually own some things. I don't care if it's Broadcom, if it's TSM, if it's Meta, if it's Amazon, if it's Nvidia, you should be paying attention to these things that's going on. Nvidia is about to hit another bull run. Just watch out for it. Hey, if you got value from this quick video, guys, do me a favor and smash that like button below. Also, if you know someone who's looking to invest or learn about investing, or who may even own some NVIDIA or looking to purchase some NVIDIA, please share this valuable information with them. As I always say, guys, the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Guys, take good care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.